Hello everyone, welcome back to Street TV Reviews, the series where I review random episodes from shows I deeply love. And today I'll be reviewing Dinosaurs, Season 1, Episode 3, Hurling Day. In this episode, we're introduced to Fran's mother, Ethel Phillips. She's just turned 72, and there's an archaic tradition that once a dinosaur has reached their 72nd birthday, they're thrown into a tar pit to die. Earl has always had a very adversarial relationship with Ethel, and this tradition happens to be the great equalizer among dinosaurs, regardless of social status. So naturally, Earl's giddy about her impending demise, but Robbie feels that it's barbaric and obsolete ritual to discard the elderly so unceremoniously since they've become so civilized and no longer face the obstacles they once had during primitive times. Of course, this causes tension between him and his father, who's unwilling to see Robbie's point of view. While the primitive era of Dinosaurs is somewhat mixed to say the least, this is by far the greatest episode of the first season. It's always been one I've cherished deeply because of its prescient commentary on the treatment of the elderly. Far too often, geriatric members of the family are left abandoned and forgotten in nursing homes, and it's clear to me that this episode is directly addressing this issue. The scene that demonstrates the tragedy of this best is when Robbie and Grandma Ethel recount childhood memories together before the inevitable.
See that? That's you on your Grandpa Louie's back, hitting him on the head with a pot.
Wow. Hey, look, Grandma, is this me and you?
Yeah, look, at all my spikes.
And this is when you visited me at camp.
Your Grandpa Louie was such a fisherman. He could stick his head in the water, come up with a tuna fish grouper, you name it.
Oh, a letter I wrote you. It says, "Dear Grandma, how are you? I am good. It is good here at camp. The food is good. I hope you are good too. Love, Robbie St. Clair."
Yeah, you always wrote me.
Grandma, I don't want you to go in the tar tomorrow.
Hey, I've lived a long life. I've earned this.
But I don't want you to go.
You're a young, sweet kid, Robbie, and you don't really know anything yet.
I know, you're right. Hurling's been around 1,000,000 years, and I've been around 14 years.
From this scene alone, you can tell how close they are and all the history they've shared together. Even to this day, it chokes me up even imagining myself in Robbie's situation. I couldn't be party to that either. It's so heartbreaking how Ethel just accepts her fate, feeling as if she's outlived her usefulness. It's sad, which makes it all the more strange how casual the others react to her impending demise. That's probably my only criticism with this episode. Earl never really liked her and vice versa, so I completely understand him reacting like this. But seeing Charlene and Fran take such a laissez-faire attitude to their mother and grandmother's proximate death feels so vastly out of character. To give Fran some credit, she does agree with Robbie after hearing him out, but I still feel the family should have treated this morose ceremony with less disinterest, because Fran and Charlene obviously love Ethel, so their behavior doesn't seem consistent and it's never felt right to me. Hell, Fran cries because of Robbie's howling a few episodes later, yet she doesn't drop a tear here. Anyways, moving on. Much like many first seasons, the first season of Dinosaurs has an atmosphere like no other. It's so cozy and early morning-esque. These episodes definitely feel like something you'd watch at 4 to 8 a.m. There's a particularly atmospheric sequence when Robbie sneaks Ethel out of the house during the early hours of dawn. There's this eerie sense of calmness, and Ethel's line, "Everything's hungry," still gives me the willies. There's also a pretty harrowing scene demonstrating exactly why this tradition was created in the first place.
Hide yourself. Robbie, don't be a stupid kid.
Come on, Grandma.
Forget about me. Hide yourself. Forget about me. Hide yourself.
I just couldn't leave you, Grandma. I couldn't do it.
Now do you see why old dinosaurs go into the tar? Take me home, dear.
I still remember how much this scene frightened me as a child. The fact you don't even see this lumbering beast in combination with the disquieting score paints quite the picture of just how terrifying this creature is. Although this scene was likely shot in this manner to reduce budget, it's still very effective. Despite the episode's more understated and dour tone, there's a handful of funny scenes, my favorite of which being the Mr. Ed parody seen on TV. Me and my boyfriend watched this episode some time ago, and no hyperbole, this was the hardest he's ever laughed at anything we've ever seen together thus far, and I don't blame him. Even when I was a kid and didn't even know who Mr. Ed was, the blank expression on the caveman's face and the cheesy music cracked me up. There's another hilarious scene where Mr. Richfield recounts throwing his grandma into the tar pit.
My, it's sad how the memories fade. Good thing I got it on VHS.
Ooh. Nice trajectory, sir.
Damn right.
But the moment goes by so quickly, my captain.
Well, not on slow-mo.
Earl is admittedly not very likable in this episode, since he's literally celebrating the demise of his mother-in-law, but you sort of understand where he's coming from. Earl is clearly going nowhere in life, but this tradition provides him with an opportunity to be seen as equal by those higher than him. Christ, this society is fucked up on so many levels. Good thing our own society is nowhere near as shallow and materialistic.
I'm going to the garage to hang myself.
However, in the end, he does the right thing by swallowing his pride and not tossing Ethel into the tar, because even if he hates her to shreds, he couldn't bear hurting his son like that. Speaking of the tar pit, I actually have a theory that it's a metaphor for nursing homes and how some families tend to abandon their geriatric loved ones there to wilt and loneliness. This is something I've always felt very strongly about, and it's a core reason for why I love this episode as much as I do. It's a lesson so seldom talked about in media, and it's great to see this episode tackle such an issue in a mature and profound way. Overall, this was a very poignant and impactful episode about cherishing your elders and disavowing obsolete traditions with no place in the modern world. Undeniably, the crowning achievement of Season 1. 10 out of 10.